Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give y'all a chance to tune in to your boy before I start building on this topic for the day. And it's more so going to revolve around me venting, man. So I just need for y'all to tune in, tap in with your boys, just sit back and listen to some things I got to say, man. I'm going to end up just blacking out on this stream, man, because like I said, I got to get some things off of my chest. I got to vent, and I just need for y'all to listen to what I'm saying instead of just responding. So I need for y'all to just kick back, sit back, and listen to some things that I have to say, man, in regards to my perspective towards this particular subject matter, man. It's a deep subject. Jamar, peace, what's going on, man? It's a deep subject matter, and it really is a situation where it shouldn't be as sensitive as it is. And it's actually kind of disgusting. And that's why I really feel the need to vent on this particular subject matter. It's a shame. D, peace, what's going on? Oh, Jamar, we gonna build on the truth. Like I said, I'm gonna end up blacking out in this stream, man. So if I don't interact once I start venting, it's because I'm blacking out, man. Because like this is a really sensitive subject, really sensitive topic, and it stemmed from something that I posted on Facebook, and I just want to express my sentiments. So I'm gonna really get into a zone when I start venting about this particular subject matter. But like I said, I want to give people a chance to tune in before I start spazzing, so that people can really get the bulk of the content, man, the meat of the conversation or the dialogue. Because like I said, I got things I need to get off my chest in regards to this particular subject matter. Sweet Tea, peace, what's going on? Sean Dow, peace, what's going on with you? And Jamar, most definitely. Y'all know how I get by now. Y'all know how I get when it comes to certain subjects, certain topics. Like the energy is just a little more elevated than normal. So this is one of those subjects, man. It's a sensitive subject to me, but I feel like it really shouldn't be as sensitive, and it shouldn't spark controversy. This is not something that I feel like should be controversial, yet it is. And it further adds to the problem or the division between the black man and the black woman. And it's sad, it's disgusting. And we wonder why we are continuing to be placed in the same situations time and time again. Is because of a subject matter like this and a division that it causes and creates when it really shouldn't. This should be common sense. This should be common logic, but it's not. Thunder Scorpion, peace, what's going on? Oh, D, we about to go in, and like I said, man, I was venting. I wasn't even venting. I got on Facebook and it was simple. I was just expressing my sentiments. Now, I get it. Facebook is a platform. If you express your sentiments, then you are opening yourself up to criticism in regards to your thoughts, hence why you posted it in the first place. But the thing of the matter is, man, I've been sitting back. Y'all know that I train predominantly black women. So I've just been sitting back and I've been listening. I've been examining. I've been analyzing. I've been placing myself in their shoes. I've even analyzed myself, introspection, in regards to my relationships and dealings with the women in my life. And I came to an understanding. And the post that I made on Facebook went a little something like this. I said, I am starting to understand a little bit why black women feel unprotected. And it's some key words. It's some key words that people miss within that status. And the sad part of it is I got most backlash from black men, and that's trash and terrible. This should be common sense. This should be common sense. I shouldn't have to argue with black men about why we should be protecting black women. And yet that's what I had to do. But again, the status said I'm coming to an understanding, meaning that it's my understanding. So if you disagree with my understanding, first of all, that's cool because it's my understanding, it's not your understanding. Secondly, the best way to have a dialogue in regards to someone else's understanding is to ask them a simple question. What led to that understanding? These grown black men, they did not ask questions. A lot of them just came right from my throat, trying to justify why they feel as if the black woman should not be protected. And that's garbage and that's gross. because I simply stated that I'm coming to an understanding. So all you had to do is ask me, what did I experience that led to that understanding? And then secondly after that, or thirdly after that, I said a little bit. I didn't say I'm starting to understand fully why certain black women feel unprotected. I said I'm understanding a little bit why black women can feel unprotected. So it's funny how black men, we tend to criticize black women and say that they are emotional creatures and they are overly emotional and they not logical and not rational. Hence, we start responding and reacting the same way that we criticize them. The same thing that we criticize in regards to these black women, we starting to act that same way. Now, I got a bunch of brothers on the post that got overly emotional and did not comprehend the status and did not look at the status correctly. And they saw what they wanted to see instead of what I actually posted. It was only like 2 or 3 brothers that actually asked me what led to that conclusion. That is how the dialogue is supposed to go. That is how the dialogue is supposed to go. I didn't say it was an actual fact that black women are unprotected out here. I said I'm coming to an understanding. I can understand why some black women feel that way. And that's based off of experience. That's based off of me analyzing myself. So when I said that, I was talking to myself because I haven't been picture perfect in regards to protecting black women. I have underappreciated the black women in my life. And this ain't no knock on dudes, man. But at the end of the day, man, I just analyze my own family and analyze myself. At the end of the day, man, I rock with my male cousins, I rock with my uncles, I rock with my grandfather. But when it comes to the women in my family, like nobody has my back more than the women in my family, whether it be a grandmother, whether it be my aunt, whether it be my female cousins, whether it be my mother or my sister. No one. And then I've even analyzed that in relation to other family members. No one has my back more. Nobody has the back more of these black men in my family than the black women. Nobody. When some boils that, like the people that have came to my rescue, the people that have came to be by my side, the quickest and the fastest have been black women. 9.9 times out of 10. 9.9 times out of 10, when something happens to me, the first person by my side has been a black woman. And I realized that I didn't fully appreciate that and I took that for granted. I've taken that for granted. And then I can even give you some personal cases in regards to some of the things that some of my clients have told me that they had to deal with in regards to the treatment that they are receiving by some of these black men. I got some honest black women, man, that they said they do not want to date outside of their race, man. They love the black man, but they have been walking into situation after situation, being abused, being mistreated. Of course, I'm holding them accountable for their selection. But at the end of the day, it's like every dude that they telling me about is fitting this criteria. And they just don't deserve that, man. It takes a village to raise a child, and then we forgetting the village mentality. So when it comes to that village raising a child, that village also has to protect the women that give birth to that child. We have got to protect our women. If we don't, who else will? That's our responsibility. That's our responsibility, whether y'all like it or not. Just like we got to protect these children, we got to protect the first home of these children. We got to protect the first home of these children. That's part of our responsibility. Point blank, period. And that's just an actual fact. And then it's crazy how a lot of brothers, they tend to argue about, they dig in their past and they talk about all the times they was mistreated by women as if that was something that didn't happen to me. It's crazy how when we talk about black on black crime, then we understand proximity. We understand that we kill each other because we are close to each other. Well, it's the same thing in regards to relationships. Yeah, you're going to have bad situations with black women. It's proximity. It's proximity. We're not saying that all the black women are perfect. We're not saying that every time you get in a relationship with a black woman, she going to have your back. She going to be perfect. That's not what we're saying. More than likely, if you're going to get dead dirty, it's going to be by your own people. It's going to be by your own women if that's what you choose to deal with, because it's proximity. So we can understand that in regards to every other thing. But then when it comes to relationships, then all of a sudden we can't understand that. And then at the same time, it's crazy that the criticism is all cool when the black woman is at the end of the criticism. When a black woman is being criticized for the most part based off of observation, everything is cool. But when somebody flips it around and they criticize the black man, then all of a sudden we get more emotional than we claim the women do. And that's sad, man. We got to hold ourselves accountable just like we would want them to hold themselves accountable for our condition, man. Listen, we need each other. So when our women are struggling out here, we are part blame on that regard, in that regards. We need to take some of the blame. We can't fully place that blame on a black woman. So yeah, let me get back to zoning out, man. And then, like I said, in that regards, like I said, we all have personal situations. We all have personal things that we have dealt with. But again, the world is a lot bigger than you. The world is a lot bigger than me. The world is a lot bigger than us. We are small. We are small. What I'm talking about, we trying to set the future generation up. We trying to set the future generation up for success. So this world is a lot bigger than me. It's a lot bigger than my problems. It's a lot bigger than you. It's a lot bigger than your problems. We got a situation that we need to solve. We got problems that we need to solve on a collective scale, on a collective level. So it's way bigger than my problems. It's way bigger than my bad experiences. I'm not about to lump them all in a box at the end of the day. I'm looking at it from a collective standpoint. We got a collective problem. And we gotta get to the solution of that particular problem. We gotta get to the solution to that particular problem. And people don't understand. When I started talking about protection, you had brothers talking about they need to carry guns and this, that, and the third, as if physical protection is the only way that you can protect a woman or protect a person. Protection transcends the physical. We talking about mental protection. We talking about emotional protection. How can we sit here and we call women emotional by nature or overly emotional, whatever it is that we refer to them as, and then we abuse their emotions? If we understand that they are emotional by nature, then what are we doing to help that? What are we doing to help that situation? What are we doing to help that situation? We gotta make the understanding understood, and we gotta deal with it accordingly. Like if we about to go into that, speaking all of this science, but then when it comes down to actually dealing with the black woman, then all of a sudden that science goes out the window. We understand how emotional they are. We understand how they are on the surface, but then when we dealing with it, now it's a problem. It's a problem. Then you gotta get down to the root cause of everything. We got to get down to the root cause of everything. And this is the problem that I have. Like when it comes to us, we don't want people giving up on us. Yet we continue to give up on individuals. But then we want everybody to get down to the root cause of our issues and our problems. But we're not willing to do that for anybody else. Get to the root cause of why the black woman may have the mentality that she has today. Come on now. We grown. We historians, we can read, we can comprehend. Get down to the root cause of why the black woman has the mentality that she has today. It ain't always been like that. And we talk about history and we talk about our ancestors. Man, our ancestors wouldn't be co-signing some of the nonsense that we're talking about in regards to our black women. Our ancestors wouldn't approve of that. Most of the ancestors that y'all studying, most of the ancestors that y'all praise and place on the pedestal, they place the black woman on that same pedestal. So what are we talking about? Are we really rocking with our ancestors like that? Are we really rocking with our elders like that? Come on now, man. Some of the stuff that I've heard, some of the stuff that I've witnessed, man, just some of the stuff that I've witnessed, which led to my understanding. Man, you got people out here, you got women out here dealing with some situations, man, where they getting abused by male family members, and then the other family members are telling them not to go to the police because it's not that serious. Come on, man. I'm talking about women getting abused by family members where dudes are triple their size. Could have killed them, literally. And they telling them it's not that serious. He didn't mean to do that. don't take it to the police. You will mess up his life. Man, that's whack and that's corny. You put your hands on that black woman to the point where you done almost killed her, and you triple her size. She 160, 170, you 300 pounds, and you done about choked her to death. Man, you deserve everything that's coming to you. I ain't looking out for nobody like that. I ain't looking out for nobody like that. There's no reason for you to do that. There's no reason for you to do that. And that's just one thing I have experienced, witnessed, been told, observed. That's just one thing that led to my understanding. It's not your understanding, it's my understanding. But that's just one thing. And this is a common call. I've heard about this a lot. To where a lot of women have said they don't even feel protected around their own male family members. Now listen to what I'm saying. Some women don't even feel protected around the men in their own families. Now the men in their families that are not protecting them, that are abusing them, the men don't feel unprotected. So this is why I'm reaching the conclusion that I'm reaching. Again, I don't look to a woman to protect me. Because like I said, I wasn't raised on that vibe. I was raised on the vibe of the man being a protector, being a provider. And again, when people hear those words, they think physical protection and they think financial. They think the finances is the only way to provide. Again, it's a little bit deeper than that. But like I said, I've been raised in a traditional role to where protection, leading, providing, that's the role of a man. And like I said, there's many facets to the three things that I mentioned. But you got women growing up in these families, in these households where the men are abusing them. Now, I'm not saying it's not vice versa. So again, don't be Captain Obvious. Don't be Captain Obvious here. Please don't be Captain Obvious. We already know the vice versa exists, but that's another video I'm dealing right now with how I can understand why black women feel the way that they do. Some black women feel the way that they do in regards to not feeling protected out here. It's a doggone shame that within your own family, as a black woman, you don't feel protected amongst the men in your family. And again, I'm not saying that's all cases. Of course, obviously, you have some families out here where the man is protecting that black woman. So you have that. But you have plenty of cases contrary to that. And that's just pathetic, and that just shouldn't exist. That just shouldn't exist. Listen, we talk about protection as if it's something that should be earned, cool, whatever the case may be. But some of these women, they didn't deserve to be abused. They didn't deserve to be mistreated. They didn't deserve to be beat. They didn't deserve to be cheated on. Yet we give them that anyway. So then when it comes to protection, now all of a sudden they got to deserve the protection. But when we treat them like trash, they didn't do anything to deserve that. Yet we give it to them anyway. And how do I know they didn't do anything to deserve that? Because, of course, I done been in situations and seen situations where dudes out here crying once the woman decides to finally leave after putting up with all this nonsense. Because you took her for granted. You took her for granted. You done cheated on her 3-4 times. She done took you back. Plenty of cases like that I done been witnessing, man. And that's garbage, man. Plenty of cases like that I done been witnessing, man, where these grown men out here cheating on these women. They got the mother of their kids cheating on them several times, and the black woman taking them back, getting called a dummy by all her family members and all her friends, still taking this food back. Then when she finally get fed up, this black man crying. Because you done took her for granted all that time. So she ain't deserved that, but yet we gave that to her. We mistreated her. We cheated on her. We walked out on her, man. We abused her and did all that type of nonsense. But then now she got to earn our protection. That's why I ain't never liked that argument. Because what did they do to deserve all of that, man? Then why are you crying when she finally get fed up with your nonsense? Come on, man. That black woman deal with a lot, just like we claim to deal with a lot from that black woman. We done started overlooking the nonsense that the black woman is putting up in regards to dealing with us. And that's one of the things that I had to reflect on. We all can talk about the black woman and her attitude and all of that type of cool. You may have a point, but what do we do? What do we do? How do we treat the black woman? How do we act around the black woman? What do she got to put up in regards to dealing with us? What do she got to deal with? Have y'all looked in the mirror as black men and say, man, I got a lot of growing to do because I done been in relationships and I've been nowhere near perfect. I have been terrible in regards to my treatment of black women. Man, I can look in the mirror honestly and say that I have. I can honestly look in the mirror and say that a lot of my past relationships failed because of me. Dealing with black women, I can honestly look in the mirror and say that. But for the longest, I was blaming black women. I was lumping them in that box. For the longest, I was like, man, these black women, man, I don't trust these black women, this, that, and the third. Then I really sat down and I just analyzed everything. I analyzed everything. I looked at the situation and said, man, what did I do? What did I do in those relationships? Accountability. And we like to run from that. Man, we gotta stop sugarcoating stuff. Everybody want feel good information, feel good knowledge. Well, I ain't that. Reality don't necessarily feel good. Reality don't necessarily feel good. The truth don't necessarily feel good. I can tell you as a whole, I don't care what you black brothers are saying. I'm dealing with the black women in the field. I'm talking to the black women. I'm letting you know that the black woman does not feel protected. So this is not something that's being made up. This is the consensus. And we got to hold ourselves accountable for that, man. We got to be partly responsible for that. As black men, man, again, I don't care who wants to hear this. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who doesn't. It is what it is. Like I said, man, I analyze myself, man. I just analyze how I've taken a lot of the women in my life for granted. I've taken a lot of the women in my life for granted, man, and it's just it's sad, man, just on my end. And then I've realized a lot of brothers have done the same thing, taking a lot of these women for granted. Man, it is some women that have put up with some trash, and they get verbally beat down by their peers because they putting up with the trash, all because they trying to love this black man, man. And again, do not be Captain Obvious. We already know about the vice versa. We didn't already beat the black woman down enough. We already know about the vice versa. We done talked about her attitude. We done talked about how hard she is to deal with. We done that enough, man. The media does that enough. We do that enough. So I don't feel like this is the time for me to do that. I don't feel like this is the time for me to do that. Then we talk about how hard these women are, how masculine these women are, how tough these women are, how independent these women are. Do the knowledge to history, man, and understand why this mentality was developed in the first place. It's all about understanding, just like we want them to understand us, and why we have reached the conclusion that we reached. We typically do not strive to reach that understanding in regards to why they are the way that they are. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all know we got to do better. Y'all know we got to do better. This is not something that should be up for debate, man. This is not something that should be up for debate. You see that family member abusing that black woman in your family, you need to be protecting that black woman in your family. You don't need to be telling her that, oh, hey, don't press charges. Yo, like he was just tripping. He ain't mean to do that. He ain't mean to almost kill you. Don't be trying to sweep that stuff under the rug, man. We got to protect the black women on that mental and emotional level as well, man. That's part of our role. That's part of our duty. Some of the things that we out here allowing people to say about our black women. And then some of the stuff that we are out here saying about our black women. Man, come on, man. We shouldn't be publicly doing that. A grown man shouldn't be publicly bashing a black woman on any type of platform, man. Who raised you people? Who raised you, man, to where y'all think as a grown man it's okay to be publicly bashing a woman, man? That's childish. That's soft, man. That's weak. That's weak, man. I ain't finna get on no platform and start talking bad about a black woman or any woman at that. Type of stuff is that, man? I ain't finna do that. That's lame, man. That's lame, man. We got enough issues. We got enough problems for me to be sitting around here bashing black women on any type of platform, man. Type of stuff is that. If it weren't for that black woman's womb, you wouldn't even be here today, bro. So what are we doing, man? They deserve respect as a whole, man. They deserve respect as a whole. When you want that child, when you want a baby, who you finna go find? You finna go find you a black woman to give you that son, give you that daughter. When you out here running wild in these streets, who you finna come back home to? That black woman that been taking care of your kids while you running out here doing what you gotta do. And she ain't making no excuses. She ain't making no excuses. Some of y'all got some lame homeboys right now that'll sell y'all out in a second. That'll talk to your woman behind your back. That if you got shot, to leave you there to die. But y'all willing to shoot and kill and die for these lame homeboys that wouldn't be willing to do the same for you. But when I talk about protecting a black woman, then y'all got all type of excuses. But y'all done got homeboys that done did y'all just as dirty as y'all claim these black women done did, but y'all ain't gave up on y'all homeboys yet. Y'all still rocking with them same homeboys. Y'all got people in y'all family right now that did y'all dirty, just as dirty as y'all claiming these black women done did, and y'all still rocking with these family members. Y'all ain't gave up on these family members. Y'all ain't placed all y'all family members in the box. Y'all ain't placed all y'all homeboys in the box. And some of them that did y'all just as dirty, just as bad, if not worse, than y'all claiming these black women that did. Come on, man. Don't act like you ain't had no homeboys that done did you dirty that you still rocking with. Don't act like you ain't got people in your family that done did you dirty that you still rocking with. Don't act like you done just cut off everybody that done never did you dirty. Don't act like you done placed everybody in a box that done just did you dirty. You ain't did that. One homeboy did you dirty, and now you say all your homeboys trash. You ain't did that. One of your family members that did you dirty, you say the whole family trash. You ain't did that. Two homeboys did you dirty, you ain't said all my homeboys trash. You ain't did that. That homeboy that stole from you. That homeboy that tried to talk to your woman. That homeboy that lied to you. That homeboy that about got you killed a few times. You still rocking with him. Still rocking with him. They made all excuses for the homeboy. They made all excuses for the homeboy. You gonna make excuses for your homeboy. You gonna ride and die for that homeboy. You gonna ride and die for that homeboy. Keep that same energy for that black woman, for that homegirl, like I said, that's taking care of them kids when you out here doing your dirt. That's taking care of them kids when you out here putting in that work. When it's time to have them kids, you gonna go run to that black. You ain't gonna go run to that homeboy. When you want somebody to give birth to that child, to give birth to that seed, you finna lay down with that black woman. So come on now, it ain't time to debate me in regards to why I feel like they deserve our protection. This ain't a debate, man. This ain't an argument. This ain't none of that. This ain't no opinion. This ain't none of that. It's an actual fact. It's an actual reality. It's an actual reality, man. They deserve a lot more than what we've been giving them, man. That's just a fact. Like I said, of course, obviously, it's brothers out here giving them the world, and I applaud you, brothers. But it's a lot of brothers that's not. It's a lot of brothers that's not, and they taking that love for granted. They taking it for granted. They taking it for granted, and if that's you, if that's something that you're doing, you need to stop doing that. Stop making it look like you perfect. Stop making it look like you ain't took no L's. You ain't did bad things to black women. You ain't mistreated black women. Stop doing that. We ain't perfect. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. We want to point the finger. We want to blame everybody. We want to say, black women that did me like this. They done did me like that. But what did you do to them? It's easy to point the blame, man. It's easy to point the blame. What's hard is looking at yourself, realizing your faults, realizing where you messed up, realizing where you mistreated them. That's the hard part. It's easy to say, that black woman, I done dated black women, they did this to me, they did that to me. That's easy to do. That's easy to do. It's easy to blame someone else. It's easy to blame something outside of you. That's easy. But look in that mirror and see what you did that may have played a role in all of what you claiming she did. Come on now. Did you fully do everything that you could to protect that black woman emotionally and mentally? Come on, man. 9 times out of 10, the answer is just no, man, because we don't, man. We don't. If we did, then we'll be in a different condition as a people. So that's how that's why I know that this is not an opinion. Because if we did, the world would be a lot different. The world would be a lot different if we did. So again, this ain't nothing to debate. It just look outside, man. Look at the condition of our people. Look at the condition of our people. Like this, like I said, this shouldn't have. When I made the post on Facebook, it shouldn't have took the turn that it took, man. It shouldn't have did that. It shouldn't have did that. All brothers had to do with was ask me what led to that conclusion, what led to that understanding. And then I even said a little bit. I ain't understanding fully. I said I'm understanding a little bit because I can never understand fully because I'm not a black woman. So I'm not finna speak for black women. I can only understand a little bit because I'm a black man. So I can't fully understand how a black woman feels because I'm not one. So that's why I said I'm understanding a little bit, man, just based off of interactions, examinations, man, just analyzing and observing. So a lot of us black men, we got a lot of growing up to do, man. We got a lot of growing up to do. A lot of us are not as mature as we may think. A lot of us are not as grown as we may think, as we want to believe. A lot of us are not even as good as we want to believe, as we think, man. We got a lot of room for growth, man. And that's how it should be. But we got to stop acting like we perfect. Because we not, man. Y'all know how I view everything about us being the foundation of everything in existence, the black man that is. So when my people ain't right, that falls on me because I'm the foundation. So when that family, like when the man ain't right, the family ain't right. So on a micro level, that's how I see it. On a macro level, that's how I see it. When the condition of when the man isn't right, the black woman and the black child isn't right. Because they are a reflection of his light. They are a reflection of his light. So if his light is trash, like everything around him is going to be trash, dysfunctional. So again, I understand people don't want to have that perception because that's accountability. So now you accountable for your universe. You accountable. You accountable for the condition of your people. Well, that's what your ancestors said. That's what some of your elders were preaching and teaching. So this is not something that I'm just saying. All these elders that we look up to, all these ancestors that we look up to, tell me how they viewed the black woman. Tell me how they viewed the black woman. And let me know how disrespect flows into that equation. It doesn't. Go find me my ancestors, go find me my elders, man, and let me know how they viewed the black woman. Let me know how they viewed it. So it's like, listen, man, I'm done. Like with stuff like that, man, it's disgusting. So we ain't like again, the world is a lot bigger than me, and that's one thing I had to realize that led to that conclusion. The world is a lot bigger than me. It's a lot bigger than me and my experiences. So I stepped back, man. I just stepped back and I analyze everything on a macro level instead of the micro level. Like I said, man, the world is bigger than me. If we striving to set the future generations up for success, then we got to look at the world, man, not just myself. Like I had to look at the world. I had to look at the world, man, and that's what I did. That's what I did, and that's what led me to the conclusion that a lot more work needs to be done in regards to repairing the relationship on a whole between black men and black women. And like I said, we are the foundation of that. So that's why I'm talking to black men in particular, because we are the foundation. Whether you want to accept that role or not, that's what it is. Whatever preconceived notions you have of black women, I can tell you for the most part, a lot of those preconceived notions are false. I can tell you. We don't like people to give up on us. We don't like people to give up on our kids, etc., etc. So why are we giving up on our women like that? Why are we placing our women in this crazy box and then get mad when they place us in a crazy box? Don't be a hypocrite. How you able to place black women in a box, then when they place black men in a box, you get in your feelings, just like they do? That's hypocritical. How you allowed to place a group in a box, but then they ain't allowed to do the same to you, based off of their experiences? So if everything is based off of experiences, how you finna tell that black woman she not allowed to place people in a box based off of her experiences, then you do the same thing based off your experiences? What sense does that make? What sense does that make, man? That don't make any type of sense. You finna place black women in a box based off of your experiences with black women. Then when black women do the same to you based off of their experiences, now it's a problem. Come on, man, make that make sense. Make that type of stuff make sense. Master two, black men, the way that we do, listen, and this is something that I have thought about. This is something that I thought about when I was just reflecting upon self. Like I said, when people heard protection, a lot of people just merely thought physical protection. Man, it's layers to protection. We got to really start on an emotional level, on a mental level, in regards to the protection for the black woman, man. It's all about the understanding. It's all about the understanding. If we about to sit here and we about to break everything down by science and say that, oh, they emotional creatures, then we got to know and we got to understand and deal with everything according to that if we claim to be logical and we claim to be rational. And I'm not saying that that's true or false, but I'm saying that that's what we claiming to be, then we got to deal with everything according to that. It all starts with understanding. It all starts with understanding. That is how we begin to repair this issue. You got to go back and you got to reflect on self. How have I been treating black women? Physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever the case may be. Go back and analyze all your past relationships. Don't analyze what the black woman did to you. Analyze what you did to her. Analyze what you did to her. Analyze what could have sparked some of the reactions that you may have received that you perceived as negative or bad. Just ask what you did. Ask how you handled situations. Ask was that the best way to handle that particular situation? Just ask yourself a bunch of questions in regards to how you have dealt with black women in the past, in the future, in the present. It's all about understanding. That's literally what it's all about. We got to strive to get an understanding. We got to strive to gain and attain that understanding. And it's real simple. All you got to do sometimes is sit back and listen to the black woman. Literally, that's all I did. That's all I did. Instead of me sitting back judging them, instead of me sitting back trying to control them, instead of me sitting back even giving them advice, I let them vent. I listen to them. A lot of them going to tell you flat out what it is that they want and how simple it really is to give them that. Just listen to them. Just listen to them. And I even got on a deeper level. Like I even went in on like cycles and things like that. Like when women have their periods, like emotionally, that's draining. But what do we do to ease the burden when they are on their period? Like we don't understand. Do we understand as men how draining that is for the black woman? So what are we doing to ease that burden when they on their cycle, when they on their period? What are we doing to ease that burden? Man, that's protection. I was reading a book on the Rastafarians, and they was like, one of the beliefs that they had when dealing with their women, they was like, when it was period time, they didn't allow for their women to cook. They didn't allow for their women to cook. They didn't allow for their women to do a lot of work. And this was back in the day, but this was part of their ideology. When the women was on the period, they didn't allow for that woman to cook. They didn't want that woman doing a lot of heavy duty work while they was on their period. Because they understood how draining it was, just how mentally drained and exhausted they were. And y'all done already heard me talk about how food preparation is important. It's important to prepare that food with a certain mentality. So the Rastafarians understand that, and they understood that. So when a woman was on her period, they was like, sit back, we got it. We gonna ease the burden. We ain't finna give you all this work to do while you on your period, man. That's not fair to you. It's simple stuff like that that we overlook, man. We don't even think about. We just think that they complaining. We just think that they tripping. Like, nah, man, what are we doing to ease that burden? Balance it out. Balance it out, man. Like I said, little small things like that, we overlook it, man. We got a lot of work to do, man. But I feel like it starts with understanding who the woman is, understanding why she is the way that she is. Just understand it, just listen it, man. Just listen. Listen to that black woman. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen to her. Take notes. Take notes. And on a personal level, if you listen to that black woman and you feel like you done did everything in your power to do right by this black woman, and she does you dirty, then that just means that she's not the one for you. Then you move on. That don't mean that all black women are this, that, and the third. Listen to how foolish that sounds. Y'all may not have just been, y'all just may not have been compatible. And that's when you gotta understand, that's when you gotta reflect on self. Maybe we were not compatible and I was trying to force it. I was looking at the potential instead of what was or what is. Then you are part to blame for that. If y'all not compatible and you were still striving to force the relationship to work, that's not her fault. That's not your fault. It's your fault. This wasn't meant to be. You were striving to force it to be something that it wasn't. That's why y'all clashed. That's why she responded or reacted the way that she reacted. Like y'all incompatible. But incompatible doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna place all of them in this box, so all of them are trash. No, you just have certain black women that you are not compatible with. It's a certain type of personality. It's a certain type of mentality in regards to a black woman that you're not compatible with. You gotta understand how diverse we are, how versatile we are as a people. So you gonna have plenty of black women that you're not compatible with, that you won't get along with. Just like you're going to have plenty of black brothers that you're not going to get along with. The same thing applies to relationships. So you're going to walk into plenty of situations where y'all just not compatible. It just won't work. But what happens is a lot of times we try to force it to work. Because we may be clinging to something, whether it be the physical look, whatever. She may do one or two things that we just rock with, or he may do one or two things that you may rock with, and you trying to hold on to that. Meanwhile, you overlooking all of the other things that y'all are not, like all the other ways that y'all are not compatible. So again, whose fault is that really? So again, we dealing with compatibility. We dealing with people being incompatible. Just because you didn't mix, it's a certain type of, like I said, man, y'all really got to analyze. If you dealing with the same type of black woman, then obviously that's not the type of black woman that you need to be dealing with. There are different types of black women, just like there are different types of black men. Just like we like to say, you can't place all black men in a box. Like we love to say that, but we do that to them. So again, like I said, it's different types of black women. They are not all the same. That doesn't even make sense for you to believe that. So if you're dealing with the same type and it's not working time after time again, it means you're not compatible with that particular type of black woman. There are plenty of types. There are plenty of types. And a lot of times, a lot of you brothers are not placing yourselves in the right relationships because y'all don't know who y'all are. So y'all don't even know who y'all are compatible with. So if you don't know who you are, then you don't know what you are compatible with. You don't know who you are compatible with because you lack knowledge of who you are. So that's another reason why we continuing to walk into these situations that are toxic, that are bad for us. Because we don't know who we are. We don't know what it is that we need. We don't know what it is that we want. And we think it's their duty to figure it out. No. Oh, you got to have that knowledge of yourself. So that as soon as you see something going that you know that you're not compatible with that person. That's what knowledge of self will do. That's what knowledge of self will do, man. So get in tune with yourself. Get in tune with yourself, man. That's how you gonna figure things out. That's how you gonna be able to dodge certain situations. And that goes for black men and that goes for black women as well. Figure out who you are. Figure out who you are. Get that knowledge of self. Acquire that knowledge of self. Acquire that knowledge of self and watch what comes to you. Watch what comes to you. A lot of times y'all running into these relationships. Y'all seeking these relationships and wonder why things fail. Man, you don't need to seek something like that. That stuff is going to come to you as the result of you working on yourself. So a lot of us, man, are so in a rush, man. We trying to find a black woman. We trying to find a black man. We seeking that black woman. We seeking that black man. Man, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. And we wondering why we just walking into these toxic situations. Like, come on, man. That's why I say as black men, we need to do better. Because we that foundation. So that knowledge of self, it starts with us first and foremost. It starts with us first and foremost, man. You got to know who you are. You got to know who you are down to a T, man. Like, stop talking. Like, I don't want to hear a black brother. I don't want to hear you talking about, oh, these black women treat me this way. They treat me that way. They got these attitudes and you don't even know who you are. I don't want to hear that. If you don't know who you are, then don't talk to me about the problems that you have in dealing with these sisters. Deal with who you are first. You don't even have a good relationship with yourself. And you wonder why you don't have a good relationship with these black women, and vice versa. And vice versa. We don't have decent relationships with ourselves, and we wonder why we not walking into healthy relationships. Come on, man. Like, what do y'all really think, man? What do y'all really think gonna come out of that? How deep have y'all gotten in regards to discovering who y'all really are? Unearthing who y'all really are? How deep have y'all gone with that? Like, if I literally ask you the question, who are you? How deep can you really go with that? How deep can you really go with that answer? A lot of people don't deal with that particular question. But we can describe everybody else to a T. We got to answer in regards to how everybody else is and who everybody else is. But when it comes to ourselves, man, we can't answer that question. We can't answer that question. We don't have no detail for that particular question. No detail, lack detail. It may be one sentence. But then if I ask you about who the black woman is, then you got a whole book you can write. You got a whole novel that you can regurgitate to me, that you can spit out to me. You got a whole novel. You got 300 pages to define this black woman. But when I ask you who you are as a black man, you got not even a page, man. You may not even have a paragraph. You may have 2 sentences. But you can let me know who this black woman is. You can let me know who this white man is. You can let me know who this Asian man is. But you can't let me know who you are as a black man. You can't let me know who the black man is. Who are you, black man? What is your role in all of this, black man? Because you have a role. Have you defined that role for yourself, black man? If not, what are you waiting on? If you haven't defined that role for yourself, black man, what are you waiting on? Master tool, even like the golden rule, just even outside of that, like, of course, on a basic level, the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated, right and exact. But what I'm talking about in regards to our relationship with black women, just being more understanding. Like, obviously, that's how you want to be treated. But, man, we got to really understand the trauma that the black woman was put through. Just like we didn't been through the trauma historically, like we really got to just understand the trauma that the black woman was put through, some of the things that the black woman was literally forced to deal with because of this system. And that's not our fault primarily. That's not our fault. When we look at it from that systematic standpoint, we understand how the man was kicked out of the household. So we understand from a Willie Lynch perspective what really went down. So we got to look at things from that angle. We got to understand, say, oh, okay, this black woman is like that. All right, I understand why she's like that. I'm understanding why she is like that. We don't even understand that we ready to fight with her. We ready to compete with her. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that, man. Just come with your understanding. Listen to that black woman. Understand that black woman. I'm telling you, that's going to get you a long way. That's going to get you that's basically what love is, man. That's the highest form of understanding. Love. So listen, understand that black woman. Listen to that black woman and just focus on what you need to do as a man. But like I said, as a black man, you got to define that for yourself. But when you do that, when you define that for yourself, when you define who you are as a black man, when you define your role and you live according to that reality, everything will fall in place. Because like I said, everything is going to be a reflection of you, of your light. That's why they call you a son. That's why when you born, you called the son. Y'all understand, on a scientific level, on a cosmic level, everything revolves around that sun. So that's why they call you a son. This is not a coincidence. When a young man is born, they call him a son for a reason. This is not a coincidence. They call you the son for a reason, man. Everything is revolving around you. Everything is a reflection of your light. Everything is revolving around you. You are at the center. That's why they call you the son. They don't call the daughter the son. They call you the son. And they do that for a reason. They do that for a reason. This is not something that just happened by chance. They say we gonna call this young black male the son just because we just feel like calling him that. No, it's a reason. As above, so below. They know and understand that there's nothing new under the sun. They understand in our relation to the universe. So again, when you just listen to that black woman, man, and when you just strive to gain that understanding from that black woman, and then you just focus on being you as a man, everything is going to revolve around you. Everything. Every freaking thing. Listen, and I know that sounds like a lot, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You just got to be willing to take on that responsibility. If not, you're going to continue to walk into the same situations that you are currently walking in right now. Because everything is going to be a reflection of you. So when you dealing with, not even dealing with, when you find yourself, bad relationship after bad relationship, that is a reflection of your light, black man. The sun, that's a reflection of your light, son. Like the New Yorker, they don't say son just to be saying son, man. It's science behind why they calling you son. It's a reflection of your light, man. Do the knowledge to the sun. Study the sun. You are that sun on a micro level, man. Study that. Study that. Y'all know the power of the sun, especially in relation to black people, especially in relation to our melanin. Y'all know how we need that sunlight. Y'all know without that sun, what on a universal, on a cosmic level, man, what happens to black people when we don't get enough sunlight? We start getting sick. We start getting ailments. What was it called? Rickets? Man, that's vitamin D. We need that sunlight. We need that sunlight to charge up that melanin, to activate that vitamin D, to reach that optimal level of health. That is the same science that should be applied to you, black man. That black woman and that black child, they need your sunlight. They need your sunlight. They need it. They need that. When they don't have it, you have dysfunction. You have bad health. You have chaos. So just look at it, man. Just look at it on that grander scale, black man. Come on, man. Just look at what happens to black people when we don't get enough of that sunlight, man. We need that. That black woman, she needs that light. She needs that sunlight. That black child, they need that sunlight from you. They need that light. They need it. They need it. They need it. And we not supplying enough of that light. We not supplying enough of that sunlight. We not. We not. That we wonder why black women are running around here deficient. We wonder why the black women running around here deficient because we not supplying enough of that sunlight. That's sad, man. Come on. Come on. We wondering why they running around deficient because we not supplying the sunlight. So like I said, man, I see y'all comment, man. I was just scrolling. I was scrolling, looking at some comments, man. Like I said, I probably ain't gonna tap, like today, one of them days, man, I kind of blacked out. I kind of blacked out because I came to a lot of realizations myself. And I feel like this conversation shouldn't be as toxic as it really is, man. I feel like it's disgusting and it's sad, man. I needed to vent, man, before I started to like comment on some of the comments, man. I had to get some things off of my chest. Had to black out, man. I had to spaz for a moment. Like, this is not something that's really up for debate. And again, on a grander scale, like you can even trace back to your ancestors, man, and you can see how they view black women as a whole. They view these black women as a whole. They put them on this pedestal, but that don't necessarily mean that they never had negative encounters with black women. But as a whole, they viewed them in a certain light. But again, that don't necessarily mean that on an individual level, dudes back then wasn't having bad relations with black women, bad relationships with black women. But they still, as a whole, viewed the black women a certain way. And it was of a positive light. So at the end of the day, we gonna have our conflict. We gonna have our disputes. We gonna have our arguments. We gonna have all of that. You ain't gonna find me a successful relationship that doesn't have that. So we gonna have that. That's part of it. That's part of it, man. That's part of it. So we don't need to point out the obvious. But it's the overall view that we have for our black women that's trash, man. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. We don't want the overall view of black men to be trash. We get mad at that. So why are we doing the same thing that we accusing them of? Man, that ain't making anything better. That don't even make any sense. That don't even make any sense, man. And we talking about solutions, man. I can tell you one thing that's not the solution. To be bashing one another. I didn't lift it up my brothers enough, which is another reason why I was triggered by that post. I done looked out for my brothers enough, man. I done uplifted my brothers enough. I have given you brothers, man, a lot of inspiration, a lot of encouragement, a lot of motivation. The one time I try to look out for my sisters and we got a problem, that's weak, man. That's whack and that's lame. That's whack and that's lame. I can sit here and talk good about my brothers 99% of the time, then the 1% of the time while I look out for my sisters, man, I gotta argue with y'all. That's sad, man. That's weak and that's lame. That's just whack, man. That's whack. I gotta argue with y'all the one time where I say I can sort of feel where black women are coming from. But I done been on y'all side 99% of the time, and I gotta argue with y'all on that. Come on. Come on, man. That's why I said, man, you should have just sat back and reflected on what was said instead of being quick to argue, man. Because again, it was my understanding. What led to that understanding is all you need to ask. Some of the same stuff that y'all claiming these black women did to y'all, it has happened to me. So I'm not acting like, I'm not sitting here saying all black women have treated me fairly. No. So again, no need to point out the obvious, man. The same stuff that y'all done went through, I've been through it. So I'm already knowing what y'all about to say in regards to how black women are. I've dealt with the same black women that y'all are talking about, that y'all criticize. I've dealt with these same black women. So I already know. So that's why I'm like, what? Like, I felt as if it was growth, the growth in me to be able to sit back, introspection, reflect on self, listen to black women. Literally, I have just been listening. I've just been listening, man. I've literally just been listening. Some of the stories that these sisters are telling me, man, is sick. And it ain't even stories. Y'all gotta understand that I train women, but then I worked around women, working in banking. And just some of the stuff that I have experienced by some of these dudes, I can literally see why women feel the way that they feel. Hence why I reached my conclusion. Man, you dudes are like creepy, dog. Like it was certain times at the bank where I didn't feel comfortable leaving, like I didn't want the women that I was working with to like close by themselves. Like I didn't feel comfortable if I had to leave like on a short day and they were like, I was like, man, I hope don't nothing happen to them. Cause some of these creepy dudes coming up here, man, just trying to prey on them, stalking them, all type of weird stuff, man. Like that's sick. That's sick because at the end of the day, if that woman don't have any type of protection on her, she can't defend herself against that black man. She can't. She can't. And that's sick. When a sister tells you no, and I witnessed this, when a sister tells you no, she not interested, she in a relationship, she married, yet you still pursuing her, you still egging it on. Man, come on, like come on, fam. Come on, fam. Like I had a few situations at the bank, man, where I didn't just had to be present because like the black dudes was in there tripping, talking bad to these sisters. At the freaking job where I work, man, an older black man just verbally assassinated a black lady that I work with, had her crying, yo. Like, and this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And I didn't know anything about it at that particular point, man. I didn't know what was going down, but this older black man verbally assassinated this black woman, and the security guard, who's a black man, didn't do absolutely anything to protect that black woman. That man went clean off from what I was informed. And the security guard did absolutely nothing. Nobody, man. All the black women had to go in there and have her back. What are you a security guard for, man? The black women co-workers had to go in there and get this dude out of that office. And the whole black security guard just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Come on, man. And y'all wondering why I'm reaching the conclusion that I'm reaching, man. It's just things that I've witnessed, things that like, things that I've witnessed, man, things that I've observed, things that I've listened to. Black women just shouldn't have to deal with that, man. Black women shouldn't have to deal with, man, that black man talking bad to that black woman, that security guard should be like, hey, bro, man, get on. You ain't finna talk to her like that. Like, I done been there, done that, man. Matter of fact, another one of my coworkers, man, she thanked me for having her back because she was dealing with crazy dude at the ATM when we first got to the bank in the morning. And I ain't really trust this dude, so I had to get up. I got up out my car, and as we was confronting her, like I made sure I had her back. I like, if this dude do something crazy, I got to have her back. So I jumped out of the car. Ain't no telling what this brother got, but man, I'm jumping out of the car. I'm finna let this dude know that, hey, she got some help. She got some protection. Like, all I had to do was stand there. Like, that's it. That's all I had to do was stand there. But she had to confront this brother, man, because I'm not knowing what's going on, and I'm seeing this black dude that, like, he about to get out the car, so I had to get out of the car. There been plenty of situations like that, man. I had several situations at the bank where I'm like making sure ain't nothing finna happen. Like, it's just that simple, man. I feel like they deserve that, man. I don't really care. Like, I feel like if she in a situation, man, where she feel like her life is in danger, man, especially if it's like a work, like that black woman, she at least deserves to feel like, all right, man, this dude got my back. Just imagine how corny that would have been if I just would have sat in the car. Like, all right, this black dude go ahead and abuse her and beat her. I'm just gonna sit in this car, man. Come on, I couldn't do that. But it's a lot of brothers that would have did that, man. That's why she had to thank me. She was like, man, thank you for having my back. That's all that they want, man. They gonna appreciate that. They gonna appreciate that, man. They gonna appreciate that. They gonna acknowledge that, man. Thank you for having my back. Literally what she said. I was like, man, no doubt. I said, man, if something go down, man, I ain't finna let you deal with this dude by yourself. That's another man. You ain't finna be able to handle that. And then your dude is not here. And she's in a whole relationship, so it ain't like I'm protecting her because I'm trying to talk to her. No, she had a whole dude. She has a whole father of her kids, but he wasn't there. So I'm not looking at it like, oh, well, that's her dude responsibility. I'm like, man, dude ain't here. She can't deal with this other black man who shouldn't really be talking to her crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and step up. So I'm going to let her dude know that, hey, I got her back. And that was mutual respect. Like, the brother respected that. He rocked with that. He didn't rock with the security guard not having the women back. So I should be able to send my wife out into the streets and feel as though my brothers will protect the sister instead of trying to creep on her and things like that. Like, I should be able to feel that way, just like that brother was like, all right, man, if my lady at the bank, then I know for a fact there's a brother out there that's gonna ride for him, man, that's gonna protect him, man. At least look out for him. Like, that just makes you feel better as a black man. It's like, man, all right, cool. Like, I'm not there to look out for you, but I know it. I at least know it's another brother that's gonna get down. At least gonna try to do something. That man, that's respect. That's the village that I'm talking about. That's the village that I'm talking about, man. You would want somebody, if you sent your lady out, man, you would want somebody to look out for your lady if you felt like her life was threatened. You was not there to do something about it. You would hope that other people would have her back. If she wasn't able to have her own back, even if she was able to have her own back, you would still appreciate other people looking out for your lady. Like, I don't understand what's so complicated behind that. I wasn't trying to talk to her. I was like, man, it's a black woman and this black dude. I don't really trust this black dude that she dealing with. Dude out here look like he frustrated. Let me just get out the car. I ain't finna waste my time talking to this brother. But if it gets too rough, then I'm finna intervene. I'm not finna let him get disrespectful to this woman, and that's it. Period. That's all that I was doing. So that and just that level of protection that I supply, and I'm not even acting like I'm big and bad, man. I ain't big and bad, but I was like in that situation, man. It's like, man, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable leaving this black woman out there, even if I felt like she shouldn't have went up to the dude. Like, even if I felt like she should have left it alone and just let dude sit there. Like, I'm like, man, why are you approaching this black man? You don't know what this dude got on. I'm like, nah, forget all that. I got you. Like, I got you. Like I said, even if I felt like she was in the wrong, even if I felt like she shouldn't have approached him. I mean, he was clogging up the ATM lane, but I'm like, man, you don't know what type of people you approaching. You never know. You never know what's about to pop off. So I'm like, man, you might not want to do that. But she did it. I said, well, all right, whatever decision you make, I'm finna rock with you. Finna rock with you. So it's like just the fact that she had to express appreciation for that, let me know that that's not the norm. let me know that it'd have been plenty of situations where the dude wouldn't have had her back. So that's why she had to show that appreciation. But again, like I said, it's that village, man. I'm finna look out for my sisters, man, to the best of my abilities. To the best of my abilities. And that's physically, and that's just mentally. That's emotionally. So again, like I said, this may be unpopular. It's sad, but this may be an unpopular opinion, which this ain't even an opinion to me, but this may be an unpopular thought or mindset or mentality, which is crazy, which is sad. But at the end of the day, I'm used to that. I'm used to having the unpopular mentality. Like I'm not striving to be accepted by people. I'm not striving to tell people what it is that I feel like they want to hear. It's about what you need to hear at this particular point. Master Tube, that's definitely something that I can put into works. And like I said, even just with this, man, like I was just inspired by what I posted on Facebook, man, and just more so the backlash. And granted, and we can agree to disagree. So I don't have any problems with my brothers that disagree with my perspective. My thing was the approach. The approach. I was simply expressing my sentiments, and I made two things very clear: that it was my understanding, and that I said I'm understanding a little bit. And people just overlook those small details, man. So it further, like the post actually further proved my point. But man, y'all know what's going on out here, man. We got brothers out here verbally assassinating black women, and we acting like, well, the black women they asked for that, woo woo woo, man. Like I said, that's childish. It's a way to conduct yourself. Y'all understand that I'm a personal trainer, right? So it's a lot of people that come to me that are not necessarily in the best of shape. Do you think I'm about to verbally bash them? No, it's a way to communicate to these women, to these men. It's a way to communicate to people, to let them know the truth about themselves without having to bash them, without being ignorant. It's a way to do that. Marlon, appreciate that donation, but it's a way to do that. Like I said, I'm a personal trainer, so I deal with all types of people. And I know how to communicate to somebody to say that, all right, man, this is what you need to work on. Like you at this size, at this height, you need to be here and here, and this is what you need to do to work on that. It's a way to communicate to these people without tearing them down, without making them feel worse about themselves than they may already feel. Who raised you people? I'm not about to push a person when they already down. I'm not about to kick a person when they already down. I'm not about to talk down to a person. I'm not about to talk bad to a person as if I'm the supreme authority. I don't care what they ask me. Like, even if a woman comes out and asks me, is she fat or something, and she may be obese according to standards, I'm not going to say, yes, you are. It's going to be a way that I'm going to communicate that. I don't have to be ignorant. I don't have to be negative. I don't have to be toxic in my response. I don't have to beat that woman down. I don't have to tear that woman down. She obviously already feels a certain type of way about herself. I don't need to make her feel worse about herself. That's not what I'm about to do, man. And I'm not co-signing anybody that's doing that. I'm not co-signing any grown man that's doing that. I ain't co-signing that, man. I ain't co-signing no trash like that. And Dominique, I'm glad you said that, because that's another reason why I reached the conclusion that I reached. It's sad. A lot of sisters told me, just flat out, that the reason why they appreciate me as a trainer is because of the fact that I'm not trying to talk to them. It's because of the fact that I'm professional. It's because of the fact that I haven't made any slick movements on them, this, that, and the third. Because they done had trainers in the past, male trainers. It's hard for them to find female trainers out here, ones that they are compatible with. So for the most part, they walk into a lot of men trainers. So they done had bad experiences with men trainers, trying to sleep with them, trying to talk to them, getting jealous, all type of stuff that's going on that's crazy. And I have experienced that as a trainer. So these black women can't even feel safe by trying to get into shape. I've had a lot of black women tell me that. Like, you just trying to get in shape, you just trying to get your life together, and you got to worry about your trainer trying to sleep with you. Come on. They shouldn't be feeling like that, man. Hence why a lot of them, like I said, most of them respect me. They appreciate me because I'm not doing, I keep it professional. Like, that's what I'm a trainer. Like, I'm not trying to talk to, I didn't get into this profession to talk to, I'm a trainer. I'm here to help you get in shape. Nothing more, nothing less. Like, what are you dudes on? And I've literally been around, that's why I left one of the gyms that I left. The male trainers there was childish. They training these women, they talking about the women. Oh, I can do this to her. When I get her body like this, I'm gonna do this to her. I said, man, I got to go, man. This is a toxic environment. I can't be around these dudes with this mindset. That's garbage. And again, we wondering why these women had a perception that they have. Look at how we acting. You up here you supposed to train these women, but all you concerned about is developing them a certain type of way so that you can sleep with them. Come on, man. And we wonder why they come out here and say, I don't feel safe. I don't feel protected. Because they got to deal with stuff like that. Like, that's trash. What excuse do we got for that? And I'm telling you, that is common. That's common. Like, I have, like, to this day, it's actually, when I was at Gold's Gym, it was actually some women that said they do not want to train. Like, when they talk, they was like, I would prefer a female trainer for the reasons that I mentioned. Like, they said I seem cool and all, but they said they just don't want to have a male trainer for the reasons I mentioned. So I took some L's on some money because of you male trainers messing it up for other male trainers such as myself, like honest male trainers. Like, that's sick and that's garbage, man. But I can tell you for a fact that a lot of these women, especially in the fitness space, man, they have dealt with that. Even while working out, like, some of these women can't even work out comfortably. Like, y'all dudes gotta really chill out on a lot of different levels, man. Like, again, a female should feel like she can pay somebody to train her, and then that's all that it is. Like, that's all that it is. They should be able to do that without feeling like, man, this dude might try to talk to me. This dude might try to sleep with me. I got to make sure this dude ain't no creep. That shouldn't have to be that way, man. Yeah, D. Monty, man, it's really a thing. It's really a thing. And Dominique, most definitely. And that's why I operate the way that I operate. Man, I mean, for one, that's not even just that's not even my mentality. Like, that don't even make any sense. Like, you in this to help people get in shape. Like, what? That don't even, to me, that's like not even in the thought process, man. It's not even a part of the thought process. But it's like, man, that's part of the reason why I operate the way that I do, man, because, man, they got to be able to go somewhere and feel like it's safe. Like, all right, I can be here, not worry about anything. Just like my brothers that I train, man, it's judgment-free zone, man. Like, you come in here, man, you can chop it up, say what you want to say. I'm not I'm here to get you in shape, yo. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less, man. But I done had plenty of situations like that, man. I done heard about plenty of situations like that. Y'all done probably been in the workplace where it done been similar situations like that, man. Where y'all done seen, y'all know the stories, man. Y'all know how this stuff goes, man. But I witnessed it firsthand, man, just how childish some of these dudes are that are trainers in my line of work. I've literally witnessed that, man, and that is complete garbage. You would never hear anything like that attached to my name, man, and rightfully so, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Yeah, Iggy's raised me, man. I'm telling you, I done been training. Listen, to show you how bold and creepy some of you brothers are, and it's sad. When I was at Gold's Gym, I was actually training a client that man, for one, the brother had interfered with the session and basically was just like telling her to not what was it? Dude had interfered with the session. I'm training her mid-section. It was like 30 minutes into an hour session, and he was basically like, connect with me when you get done type deal. So this brother had been in there before I started training her. So basically this brother was prolonging his workout to wait for me to finish training her so that he could shoot whatever shot he wanted to shoot with her. Like, man, what are we on? She didn't already express that she not really interested in the brother. So it's like, this the type of stuff you gotta look out for. It's like, man, this dude wait. Like, the dude ain't gonna leave the gym until he see that I'm done training her. And then that's when he finished. I'm like, man, dude, just go, leave, man. You been here 2 hours. You done with your workout. You been done with your workout. What are you doing? Like, that's not safe. Like, stuff like that is not safe. It's nighttime. Like, ain't no telling what could happen to her. Like, it's nighttime. This brother out here waiting. Like, all right, I'm finna wait till she done training. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just sit here. I'm gonna just wait. So it like I said, to me, man, that I'm like, this brother, for one, you interfered with my session to tell her to holler at you when we get done, as if she wanted to holler at you in the first place. Like I said, a lot of these brothers don't understand what no means, and I've literally witnessed this firsthand. I've literally witnessed women basically tell dudes that they not interested, and then dudes start verbally bashing them off the rip, just off of that. Like, man, you just can't. Come on, man. Now she all types of things. You was just trying to shoot your shot, but then she tell you no. Now you just gotta curse her out now. Dominique is just because he in my line, so he know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm telling you, just in the gym, just in my line of work, like, it's creepy, and that's another reason why a lot of people like my look, because it's not a large gym, so they don't have to deal with that. And we can't make this up. And I'm not sitting out here saying that you don't have women that are creeps. But man, the stuff that I've witnessed just in regards to dudes creeping on women, like, it is really creepy. Like, some of you brothers are like to the point where it's like I'm creeped out. Like, man, what this dude on? Like, it get to the point where I'm creeped out for the chick. Like, man, hold on, what is he like? Like, I had that, like, man, what dude on? So it's like when you dealing with a bunch of people that can't take no for an answer, like all it takes for you is to deal with the wrong brother out of that group. All it takes for you is to deal with the wrong brother that can't say no, and then that's gonna be a bad situation. That's gonna be a bad situation. It's gonna be a terrible situation. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why I say, man, who raised these individuals? Who raised them? The crazy thing about it though, when you go back to who raised them, that further proves the point when the women say they don't feel protected by men in their own family, because that's who raised these fools today. That's who raised them. Yeah, Icky's right. Most definitely. Like I said, and when you carry yourself, listen, y'all know I done talked about the black man being God. Y'all know I did my last video on that. When you carry yourself in that righteous manner as a black man, we talk about king this, God that, righteous this, righteous that. But when you actually carry yourself according to that type of vibe or frequency or whatever word you want to use, when you carry yourself according to that light, trust me, everything will flow from that. You will attract everything according to that vibe. Literally, when you operate according to that foundation of you being a king, like don't be just using king as a word. No, live that out, man. King, God, righteous, Lord, whatever word it is that you want to utilize. Live out that reality, and you're going to attract everything according to that reality. Stuff is going to come to you. Stop trying to force it. When these sisters tell you no, stop trying to press the issue. Don't talk bad about them because she told you no, man. Just be who you are by nature. Figure out who you are, live according to that reality, and you ain't gonna have to worry about stuff like that. AI Matrix, and that's all you got to worry about. That's all you got to worry about, man. Like, that's literally it. When you live according to that reality, at the end of the day, everything is going to come to you. Everything is going to flow from that reality. So again, you will be able to decipher situations. You will be able to decipher and say, okay, like you will be able to decipher how you should handle certain situations in regards to whether or not to protect the black woman, whatever the case may be. You will be able to decipher how to handle these said situations when you move according to that vibe, according to that frequency. Like, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Everything else is going to flow naturally from that. It's going to be natural. It's going to be organic. Yeah, Terenzo, and I wouldn't even say, I would go as far, I wouldn't say that some of them are intimidated. I wouldn't say that some women are intimidated by wise men, but what I feel like sometimes it's more so, sadly enough, I feel like it's shocking. It's shocking to some because of their past experiences. They may have been used to being the wisest one or the most intelligent one, so it's like a shock. Like, whoa, wait a minute, like this dude actually got some sense, and it's shocking. It's like a culture shock. When you experience something for like the first time, it shocks you. You ain't necessarily intimidated by it, but it's shocking you. Like, whoa, I ain't used to this. So you gotta adapt and adjust to that. And it's an adjustment period that you must undergo in order for that to work out. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So if you're used to dealing with something and you find the contrary, it's an adjustment period. It's an adjustment period. It's an adjustment period. You got to give people a chance to adjust to whatever it is that you are offering that they may not be used to. So it's an adjustment period. You got to give them the time to adjust to who you are. If they used to dealing with this type of individual, if you different and they know that you different and they acknowledge that you different, adjustment period. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, and that's what I'm telling a lot of brothers, man, to get to the bottom of. A lot of times, man, I've witnessed this, man. A lot of us brothers, man, we don't look into the mirror. Period. We too quick to point the finger and blame everybody else. Like everybody places the blame game, but I'm dealing specifically with my brothers right now. A lot of us, man, we just pointing the finger. Look into the mirror. Point the finger at yourself. Look into the mirror. How are you? How do you treat women? How have you treated women in the past? It's a reason why you are attracting the women that you are attracting. You are partially responsible for that. You are partially accountable for that. It's not just all their fault. It's a reason why you're attracting what you're attracting. It could be past karma, whatever the case, whatever it is that you believe, it could be that. And more than likely, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna have something to do with you. Yeah, Orlando, and that's something that I like to talk about a lot. We be throwing around this verbiage out here. We be talking good game. And to get on some of my women for a second, some of that good game be getting some of the women pimp. Some of the good game I heard that these brothers be talking be getting the black women pimped as well. When they done messed around and told y'all that they just said the black woman is God and y'all done fell for it, but they really just saying that to get to y'all. And it gets you every time. Because that's that feel-good information. That's that feel-good rhetoric. Most of the brothers that's out here spitting that, they don't actually believe that. They just using that to basically get more of you. So that's pimping. That's pimping at its finest. That's pimping at its finest. When you look at the church, When you look at the church, it's all pimping, man. It's all pimping, man. So a lot of these people, they had these titles, but they live contrary to what the title really entails, man, in regards to how they are supposed to live. So a lot of sisters, man, and they already know, that's why they call it game. A lot of sisters are able to determine what's game and what's not, but a lot are not. And some of these brothers are getting advanced in regards to the game that they are spitting. So a lot of this rhetoric that brothers are out here spitting in regards to uplifting black women, like they using that as a tactic to get more. Hence, like I said, y'all gonna see me deal with balance, man. Y'all didn't heard me criticize both sides. I'm not out here trying to make one side feel like the greatest and the other side feel the lowest. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm looking at things from both angles. This is just a video that I just so happen to be looking at it from the black woman's angle in regards to one facet of the whole situation and formula. Zucko, what's going on, my brother? And D, most definitely. Game is trash. Like, at the end of the day, like I said, that's something that I'm not. I mean, everybody can pretty much vouch for what I'm on. Like, you just stay true to yourself. So then that way, you ain't got to worry about attracting something that's artificial. Because if you artificial, then that's what you're going to attract. So that's all that game is. Game is artificial. Game is artificial. So when you out here spitting that game, then don't be mad when you attract something that's artificial. Don't be mad when you attract something other than what you was actually striving to get or looking for or searching for, whatever the case may be. Because you spitting that artificial game. So at the end of the day, when you being yourself, that's not game. Like, I'm being myself. Like, if I gotta place a label other than being myself on my approach, it's artificial. It's not organic. If it doesn't require you being yourself, it's artificial. Because if that were the case, then why must I label it game? At the end of the day, I'm labeling it game because I have a motive behind the situation, and the motive more than likely 9 times out of 10 is for something physical, sexual to happen. Like when I'm being myself at the end of the day, like I want you to see who I truly am. I need to see who you truly are. And I need to see if we can connect on that level. I don't need to be spitting game to you. I don't need to be trying to rile you up and things of that nature. Like, nah, that's not my purpose. Yeah, if you're on the game is definitely childish. It's definitely childish, man. Like I said, man, just be who you are. Like that's, I mean, when somebody say, man, what should I say to, man, just be yourself. She can't accept you for who you are, then you don't need her. You don't need her. If you gotta manipulate her to get her to fool with you, then that is bad, man. That's bad. Like I said, now you getting into the church. You manipulate. I gotta manipulate her to get her to rock with what I like to rock with me. So I gotta manipulate her. What's something that I can say to get her riled up, to manipulate her, get her interested in me? Come on, man, that's unnecessary, man. If she can't get riled up, man, if she can't get aroused, man, if she can't rock with you just for who you are, just for being yourself, then move on, man. Don't deal with that. So like, man, we gotta understand, man, we gotta understand the psychology behind the relationship between a black man and a black woman, man. Like I said, this is something that I just had to touch on, man, because the division is real and it is terribly real. It's toxic. And that's why the cycle is continuing. We are never going to improve our condition as a people if we don't repair the relationship between the black man and the black woman. And that's Willie Lynch. That's Willie Lynch syndrome, man. They done turned us against one another. It's divide and conquer, and it's working very well. So again, dig into yourself, man. Reflect on yourself, black man. Stop blaming black women. Like, stop doing that. Exit them out of the equation. If you having the same experiences with black women, man, you gotta look at what you doing. Stop blaming them, man. They get enough blame. They get enough bad press, just like we get enough blame. We get enough bad press, man. So we gotta stop giving each other the bad press. It's already like every other group of people gonna also give us the bad press, so, man. So when we add to it, that's making it 20 times worse. That's making it 20 times worse, man. We ain't got to keep giving each other this bad press. We don't got to keep doing that. All right, so just look in the mirror, reflect on self. Like, all right, man, I done dealt with 3 black women in the past 5 years, and it ended crazy. What did I do? Is it my choice in women, man? Is it how I'm responding to some of the things that they do? Like, what is it that I did that contributed to my situation? That's what we need to start doing. Instead of all women ain't this, all men ain't this, y'all all trash, y'all all this, y'all got bad attitudes, all y'all men ain't this. Like, what is that doing? Like, that's doing absolutely nothing but making matters worse. Then we wonder why we got to continue to protest, continue to get mistreated by the system, man, because look how we treat ourselves. Look how we treat our internal system. When they say it starts at home, look at that system. Look at that system. And we think that this system gonna treat us any differently. No, man. Look how we treat one another, man. Look how we treat one another. When we unify on that level, man, it's gonna be hard for that system to mistreat us, do us dirty. And they know and they understand that. Y'all done already heard me talk about the documents that's trying to keep that from happening. So they already know that we come together on that level. Listen, the black family is something that they fear. That's why they destroyed the black family. That's why they removed the man out the household. That's why they took the male, killed him in front of the black woman and the black baby. Like, that's why they destroyed the black family. That's why they understand how powerful the black family unit is. Like they understand that science. We tend to not understand that science. It's a lot of power also behind our dysfunction. They profit from that dysfunction. They get a kick out of that dysfunction. They laugh at that dysfunction. They benefit from that dysfunction. We don't though. We don't. We lose. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of taking L's, man. I'm tired of taking L's as a people. And we don't have to do it. And we don't have to do it. We do not have to take the L's that we are currently taking. We really don't have to be taking these L's, man. And it's real simple. It's real serious. At the end of the day, I know most of y'all brothers, y'all would love to have a black woman or a black queen by y'all side. Just like I know for a fact that most of my sisters out here want a black man by their side. Like, at the end of the day, subconsciously and even consciously, we know and understand that not only do we need each other, but we want each other. So we know that. We understand that. And that's where everything is going to start, man. We got to repair self. And then when we repair self, when you master yourself, you're going to master everything outside of you. So then that's going to repair the relationship between black man and black woman. And then that's only going to create a healthier future, a better future. And that's what we should be after. But man, I didn't got things off of my chest, man. I wasn't able to build on a lot of the comments like I wanted to build on, man. Like I said, blacked out, had to get my vent on. I appreciate y'all, man, just tuning in and tapping in, man, and listening to what I had to say. That means a lot. Like I said, this may not be the most popular mentality, but it is what it is. It was something that I had to get off of my chest. It was something that I've been dealing with recently based off of observation, just examining, analyzing, just listening. So I felt it was only right to express my sentiments on this particular subject matter. So whether or not you agree with it or disagree with it, it is what it is. But all I ask for you is to just sit back and reflect on what I said. Reflect on how I reached my understanding. Just reflect on it. Don't even, it's like they say, empty the cup. Don't even look at it through a lens of how you perceive it. Just empty the cup and just reflect on exactly what it is that I said. Just reflect on it and then reflect on self. That's all I'm asking for you to do. I'm not asking you to accept anything that I'm saying is true. Just reflect on it. And then look in the mirror and just ask yourself some of the questions that I mentioned in this particular stream, man, and then just reflect on yourself, man, and just see what it is that you need to do to become a better black man or a better black woman, man. Just see what you need to do. So on an individual level, man, what do you need to do to improve upon self? That's all I'm asking for you to do. That's it, man. But I got a client that's about to come in here, man. I could probably vent for another hour on this particular subject matter, man, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tap out, man. I'm going to tune out. Got to get this gym ready for this session. But y'all know how it is, man. Y'all be easy. I'm going to probably holler at y'all again on Wednesday. Appreciate y'all tuning in to me, listening to this vent. I feel like this was an important topic. And I felt like, man, y'all was really listening, man, instead of basically judging it. And I appreciate that, man. So y'all be easy. I'm going to catch y'all on Wednesday, man. Appreciate the donations. Appreciate all love, man. Peace.